if one day you moved into a cursed house and people told you that exactly 3 women in your family would die inside that very house, would you dare to stay? Welcome back to Ghost Asian. Tonight, I'll tell you a true story from Cambodia about the curse of 3 souls, a curse that unfolded in the most terrifying way, until no one in the entire market dared to pass by that house again. Cambodia in the late 1990s. In a small border town market, there was a house that stood out from all the others. By daylight, it looked ordinary. Brown tiled roof, faded yellow walls, a modest wooden porch. But at night, people swore they heard whispers, footsteps scurrying across the wooden floor, and sometimes a woman's laughter echoing out of the darkness. House had once belonged to Khmer sorcerer, a man feared and respected for his power. In front of the house, he had erected a strange wooden statue, 3 faces carved into one head, one smiling, one crying, one twisted in rage. Incense was always burning before it, the smoke curling like pale fingers in the air. Locals whispered that the statue bound the spirits of women who had died unjustly, and with it came a curse. Any family that dared to live there would lose 3 women, one by one. Years passed. The sorcerer died. The house fell silent, abandoned, avoided by all. No one would buy it until a Vietnamese merchant named Sari came along. Sari was practical, skeptical, a man who believed in money and trade, not ghosts. He had a wife and 2 daughters, and when he saw the house, so close to the market, so cheap, he couldn't resist. An old neighbor warned him, "Mr. Sari, that place is not safe. Families who stay there never last. Think of your wife, your daughters." But Sari only chuckled. "I don't believe in superstitions. The living are far scarier than the dead." And so he bought the house. He didn't bother moving the statue. It remained in the main room, its 3 faces watching over them day and night. At first, nothing happened. But within weeks, Sari's wife began to weaken. Her skin turned pale, her body fragile. She complained of feeling watched, especially in the kitchen. One evening, while cooking, she felt hot breath on the back of her neck. She spun around. A woman in a red sarong stood in the corner. Her hair hung loose and wet, her face hidden in shadow, but her eyes gleamed, and her mouth twitched as if half smiling, half weeping. The wife screamed and fainted. When she woke, she begged her husband to believe her. But Sari snapped, "Enough nonsense. You're letting silly stories get into your head. There's no one here but us." Yet after that night, she heard whispers right by her ear in the dark. Sometimes she swore the statue had moved closer to the bedroom door. One morning, she didn't wake. She lay rigid on the bed, her face twisted in terror, her eyes wide open. No doctor could explain the cause. Neighbors whispered outside the funeral, "That's the first death. The curse has begun." Sari clenched his fists, denying it all. Coincidence, just coincidence. But in his heart, unease gnawed. Life went on. His eldest daughter, strong-willed and ambitious, decided to open a small eatery inside the house. By day, customers poured in, lured by the smell of her food. But at dusk, they vanished. Some said that while eating, they glimpsed a woman in a red sarong sitting at the next table, staring, grinning with blood-stained teeth. The daughter began losing sleep. Dark circles hollowed her eyes. She woke screaming from dreams of a woman perched at the end of her bed, face streaked with blood, lips moving as though whispering her name. Her husband confessed in hushed tones, "Every night I see them, the room filled with women, all in red sarongs. They circle our bed, starring, then they laugh." One day, while cleaning, she found a bundle wrapped in red cloth inside an old cabinet. Curious, she opened it. Inside was a piece of dried buffalo hide, a rusted nail, and a faded parchment scrawled with Khmer script. Before she could touch it, her husband snatched it from her hands, trembling. "Don't, this is a talisman. If you disturb it, you'll bring misfortune down on yourself." The next morning, her shop never opened. Neighbors knocked, then broke the door down. Sari rushed inside and found his daughter lying stiff on the bed. Her eyes were wide open, lips blue, fingers clawing at the sheets. At first, she was still alive, but mute, her mouth frozen open in a silent scream. That night, she died. Her eyes remained fixed on the three-faced statue in the hall. 2 women gone. The market murmured in dread. One more, just one more. The house was abandoned. Sari fled, leaving it behind. But at night, the locals still heard it. A woman's voice singing mournfully, the sound of children crying. Some swore they saw 3 women seated at the dining table through the windows, eating, laughing, their faces smeared with blood. Years passed. The house stood silent, but never truly empty. Then one day, Sari's young niece came to clean it, convinced the stories were old superstition. She decided to stay overnight. That night, screams shattered the stillness, followed by a roar of fire. The house erupted in flames, smoke clawing at the sky. Neighbors ran, and through the blazing windows, they saw her. The girl, pounding her fists on the glass, her mouth open wide, crying for help. But the fire devoured everything. When the ashes cooled, her charred body was found. Her eyes were still open. The curse had claimed its 3rd victim. From then on, no one dared to approach the house again. The three-faced statue remained, blackened by fire yet untouched, its expressions still twisted in laughter, grief, and rage. Locals called it the House of 3 Souls. Even passing by it in daylight sent chills down their spines. So, what do you think? Do curses really exist, claiming lives one by one? Or was it all a series of dreadful coincidences? Thank you for listening tonight on Ghost Asian. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next terrifying story. Until next time.